Hey everyone, Lewis aka Spider-Man 991 here with another episode of Writer's Block, the series where I like to review and talk about a certain creator's run on a particular ongoing comic book series. Today I'll be talking about Daredevil by Brian Michael Bendis. Now the first thing I'll do in this episode is go into the bullet points, which is just going to be a brief list of things that happened during this particular run. Bendis' run opens up with an up-and-coming gangster teaming up with Wilson Fisk's son, Richard, to overthrow his father, the Kingpin. Now, at first it works successfully, however, everyone who overthrew Wilson now faces a violent retaliation from Fisk's estranged wife, Vanessa. Ultimately, though, this leads to the original gangster with the original man with the plan running to the FBI for protection and giving up Matt Murdock's secret identity, which an FBI agent later leaks to the public through the Daily Globe in exchange for money. Now, during the time, Matt is trying to deny all the press hounding him, asking, "Are you really Daredevil? Are you really Daredevil?" While Matt's trying to deny all this, he finds a new love interest in Mila Donovan, a blind woman who was rescued by Daredevil and immediately recognized that was Matt because of their similar scents. She agrees not to tell anyone the truth, and eventually she and Matt start a relationship, which eventually turns into a marriage. With the Kingpin gone, the Owl tries to make a move and take over all of his territory by introducing a new drug on the streets called mutant growth hormone, or MGH. However, the Kingpin may be down, but he gets right back up and gets back in the game. Unfortunately, though, Kingpin's comeback is short when he's stopped violently taken down by Daredevil, and Daredevil immediately Daredevil throws him into the window at Josie's bar and declares, standing right over Fisk's beaten and bloody body, that he is the new Kingpin of Hell's Kitchen. And for a while, this does calm things down a little, but it's still Hell's Kitchen. And things only get worse when the man who previously held the title of Kingpin of Hell's Kitchen before Fisk, Alexander Bont, gets released from prison. Seeking yet one last shot of revenge, he takes mutant growth hormone and uses mind control. Oh, by the way, MGH does give normal humans brief moments of superpowers. Bont uses mind control powers to take control of Melvin Potter, aka Gladiator, to help him get revenge on both Daredevil and Matt Murdock. Ultimately, though, Matt's world is shattered yet again when Fisk tries to make a deal with the FBI to get a full pardon in exchange for concrete proof that Matt Murdock is Daredevil. And ultimately, though, this leads to Matt and Fisk getting sent to prison. And that's where Bendis' run ends. Now, I'm going to talk about what I liked about this run. If you've been reading Daredevil comics within, I'd say probably, if you got into comic books around, let's say, 10 years ago, yeah, that's close enough. If you got into comics around like 10 years ago, and if you picked up any Daredevil comics then, you probably realized that there was a running gag at the beginning of Mark Waid's run. I remember they did bring it back, that of Matt being accused of being Daredevil and how there really wasn't any proof. Well, this is where it all began. This is where the whole Matt Murdock is Daredevil and Matt saying, "I'm not Daredevil." That's where that whole running gag began with this run. Now, Bendis' storytelling does work well with Alex Mulvey's artwork to create a very noir environment for Daredevil, which is a vibe that also came from the Frank Miller run, which is nice. And also, I like how in the very beginning, Bendis does offer an explanation as to why Kingpin knows that Daredevil is Matt Murdock, but he hasn't revealed it to the public. And it's great because Fisk, and it's a really good reason, because okay, and here it is. The reason Fisk never revealed Matt's identity to the public is because he felt the threat that he could reveal Matt's secret identity was better than actually doing it. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, in some scenarios, yeah, the big gun, where you have the big gun with one shot that could wipe out anything, sometimes just having the gun is more of a threat than firing it. And also, interesting enough, this run took place a couple of years right after the Daredevil story by Kevin Smith, which led to the death of Karen Page. And ultimately, though, we get a really good reveal about why all of Matt's decisions during this run, the denying his identity, marrying Mila, all of that was actually goes back to the death of Karen Page, which I thought was a really great way to tie that into this, and it especially becomes clear when Bullseye returns. Yeah, you just know when Bullseye returns to the Daredevil comic, shit's gonna go down, and it does. Believe me, it does. It is dark when, trust me, it gets really dark. I can't really describe it in words. You actually have to read it in order to understand how impressive that issue is. So ultimately, though, I did like this run a lot. I mean, I'm not really a big Brian Michael Bendis fan. I mean, I read his the first work by Bendis that I read was his Avengers work, and I gotta be honest, some of it was very average, but I like him better when he's just working with one character. I think it's better. Plus, I like it, and plus, this does feel a lot like his story on Alias. You know, it's all street level stuff. It's very grounded, and it's pretty self-contained. And I like that. And I like that, which is great. I think if you are looking for a good Daredevil story that is very similar to the Netflix series, then this is the thing you need to read. Now you're probably asking yourself, hey, where do I find this story? Well, there are trade paperbacks out there from when they were originally published, or you can get the Ultimate Collection, which collects the entire run in just 3 trade paperback volumes. You can find them anywhere, probably at any book, probably not in a physical bookstore, but most likely in a physical comic book store, and most online retailers, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, etc. And every single issue is available digitally as well. So you got options to get these things. So thank you again for watching another episode of Writer's Block. Please let me know in the comments if you like this series. I would really like to do another season of these episodes. Thank you again for watching, and subscribe to my channel. Next week we will be looking at Marvel's premier superhero team. So subscribe to my channel if you want to be notified when that video is up. Thanks again for watching. I'm Spider-Man 1991 saying, see you later.